Joshua Morrow wants his on-screen persona, Nick, to have an active love life again. It's been a while since Nick has been in a passionate love affair. The young and the restless star admitted that he would be willing to strip down for a love scene. Nick Morrow has been busy juggling two ladies, but it's not what you think. His exes, Sharon Case and Phyllis Michelle Stafford, were kidnapped and trapped together. They worked together to get through this traumatic time. The two women also seemingly turned a new leaf. They agreed to move on from their feud. In an interview with Woman's World, Morrow reflected on the show's 52nd anniversary. He also addressed Nick's love life, which has been dry lately. He's been worried about both of his exes. Morrow thinks Nick deserves to find love again. He has the perfect person for him. It's been a while since Nick got naked, and he's sort of known for enjoying all the ladies that Genoa City has to offer, Morrow joked. He's placing bets on his next love scene. Morrow has a feeling that he will be getting naked with his co-star, Case, sometime soon. Does this mean that Sharon and Nick are getting back together? When it happens, and I bet a few bucks, it's with Sharon, I'm ready. Why not? Morrow said. There's nothing super sexy about them while we're shooting, but the fans love them, and again, we all just want to tell good stories, whether we're in clothes or not. Does Nick belong with Sharon or Phyllis? Morrow shared a controversial take. He supports both, fic, and chick. He enjoys working with both women. I've been so blessed to work with the most amazing women, so to be able to share a whole episode with all of them is pretty cool, Morrow mused. Nick has been with his share of beautiful women. But when it comes to Nick's heart, which is either with Phyllis or Sharon. Nick has two great loves, and they are two women who I believe are on equal footing, Morrow continued. The chic people are going to hate me for saying this. But the reason Nick and Sharon always seem to have problems is because of Phyllis. She's always going to be a part of Nick's life, and vice versa. Morrow said it's a cyclical relationship in this love triangle. I welcome both, he concluded. Martin Laurent Christopher Cousins may make 3 confessions to Tracy Abbott Beth Maitland once she uses herself as bait in a trap. This may be building to a major kidnapper twist, so let's talk about what Martin will spill and all the why and R drama that'll result. Once Martin aka Alan returns to Genoa City, Tracy Abbott Beth Maitland plans to convince him that her love is unconditional. The goal will be to lull Martin into a false sense of security and get him to admit the whole ugly story. Tracy will assure Alan that there's nothing he could say or do to change her feelings for him. Perhaps Tracy will bring up the phone alerts and what she learned from Sharon Case before flat out asking if he's behind the double kidnapping. Of course, Tracy might pretend she's impressed by the thought that went into the scheme and act like the end justifies the means since Sharon is getting along with Phyllis Summers' Michelle Stafford now. It'd be smart for Tracy to suggest it was a brilliant experiment, even if it was unconventional and extreme. Tracy might tell Alan exactly what he wants to hear and get him to confess that he was indeed responsible for Sharon and Phyllis' ordeal. Naturally, Alan's confession about the abduction could lead to another one. Tracy might point out that the experiment seems way too outside the box for someone like Alan, who previously followed more traditional therapy rules. Maybe Tracy will point out that there must be a reason why Alan believes in different psychology methods now. Tracy might drop some hints as she encourages Alan to admit he's not really Alan at all. Once Martin feels like Tracy's going to accept him for who he truly is, he may confess that he's Alan's twin brother. Martin may come clean about his identity deception, but he'll probably assure Tracy that his love for her is the real deal. Although Martin may be happy to get all this off his chest at first, the situation could take a troubling turn soon after. It's easy to imagine Martin diving in for a kiss or even wanting to hit the sheets with Tracy. When Tracy pulls away, that could let Martin know she lied to pry the truth out of him. Martin might get an unpleasant surprise if he realizes Tracy set him up, but that's when he could deliver a surprise of his own, namely the one from Paris that he's been hyping. Although Jack Abbott Peter Bergman made up an excuse to lure Alan back home in the March 28 episode, we know Alan has been busy working on some Paris shocker. In that phone call to Jack, Alan hinted about wrapping up some things there before returning to Genoa City. What if the things Martin had to wrap up involved holding Ashley Abbott Eileen Davidson hostage? Ashley is indeed in Paris, so Martin may have her locked up somewhere and plan to use her to his advantage. Captive Ashley could allow Martin to make some demands and potentially arrange his escape in exchange for her freedom. Ashley's life could be on the line, so Tracy will be horrified if Martin makes a confession about her hostage status. This could bring a major kidnapper twist as the story reaches its climax. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest Martin will throw some curveballs and make some disturbing predictions in the process, so stay tuned for updates on all the startling news to come. CDL's where you want to be for great Young and the Restless spoilers, news and updates, so make us your top Y and R source.